Ladies and gentlemen, I know you didn't have much audio when I posted the games about the TOC, so we're going to break them down. We're going to go through them. We're going to start with game one here and post them individually. So I can give you kind of the insights of what I was seeing and, what was really going through my head, the changes I was making, the moves I was making, all that good jazz. So let's take a look here and see what we got game one and watch it through. While we're at it, hey, make sure to hit that like button for me and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. That helps the channel out quite a bit. So please be sure to do that. Hit that like button for me. But we practiced, and through practice, I looked at some slower equipment. I looked at some quicker equipment. I looked at pretty much urethane. I mean, we threw some shots with urethane. Urethane looked like doo-doo. So I decided to go with a controllable smooth piece in the Evoke, um, which would allow me to kind of control the middle part of the lane, and hopefully it doesn't overhook too much. And one of the things you'll notice here is I'm all over the place. I'm still trying to get my feet under me, not throwing it great. Very bad balance. It really wasn't that bad of a shot, frame one, to be completely honest. That wasn't awful. Went in the right direction, but because I lost my balance, it was a bit slow and grabby and all that bad junk. So not a great start, but pretty typical for me in an event, no matter what event it is. It could be a sweeper, it could be PBA event, it could be just practice, whatever. It doesn't matter. First shot's always bleh. I do speed this up so so you're not going to watch the entire game of everybody throwing shots. I do clip out my frames for you, so we'll break them down as they go. You watch Sean there. Sean, through practice, used urethane and a slow ball. He opted to go to a Crimson Jackal, a quicker asymmetric pearl. And he did put a little bit of surface on it, and that shot looked great. That was actually a really good shot. So I saw that, and I'm like, that's interesting. Make my spare because I am a phenomenal spare shooter. Most times. I do pride myself in being a very good spare shooter. Carlos Granados to the left of us used that black hammer pearl most of the day. He made the cut. He made it look really good. He was one of the only guys to make urethane look good. So frame one, we had 9 spare, left 4 pin, getting up on the left lane with the same ball. And another pretty good shot. A little bit better balance that time. Maybe got it going a pinch to the right, and it hung, but it rolled a 2 pin. So I'm like, okay, that's not a good sign. 2 pins are not a good sign, but that's okay. Maybe I missed it a little bit. I don't know. I was still kind of, at this point, the lanes were fairly hard for me, and then I watched that, and I'm like, okay, so maybe that lane's tighter after Sean does that. Like that left lane has to be tighter. And then I convince myself the left lane's tighter after I throw this shot. That jersey looks good, though, doesn't it? You can get yours over at Bolify. Bolify.com. We'll hook you up. I know I have a code. I have to figure out what my code is. I don't even know what my code is, to be completely honest. Get you a discount. Another good shot here. And that one creeps high again at 4 pins. So I'm like, what's going on? Did I get around that one a little bit? I'm very unsure because I'm very unsure on my ball reaction. I'm not comfortable. My shots aren't crisp off my hand. I'm struggling with this thumb a little bit. But it's not awful yet, so I kind of stick with it. Sean, at the end of this, ended up just missing the cut. He was 71 over. It took 98 over. But then 2 people dropped out, so he got one of the spots along with Brad Miller, who was 65 over. Displaying my fantastic spare shooting skills again. And the good thing we get to watch Sean each shot for the most part. See, now he goes up on that lane, not a good shot, and it goes Brooklyn after he just 2-4-10 on the left lane. So this pair was a little wishy-washy, I don't think any of us were really confident in what we were seeing. I don't even remember what happens here, but I'll tell you in a second. Yeah, that was a decent shot. And then that one switched sevens. You'll see that a lot in a lot of these games. I couldn't get that hit to go. Most of the day, my struggle was getting my ball to read early enough. But then when I went to a ball that would read earlier, it read too much. It was too quick, too early. So I was kind of trapped in a way. You'll notice later games, I get more comfortable at the end of game 2, going into game 3, spare shooting. King! Spare shooter. Spare shooter. What's up, brother? Special teams, special players. Tuesday. I know y'all know the reference. Don't tell me you don't know. Don't tell me you don't know sketch. It's fun. We like it. We like it a lot. All right. What are we in here? Frame 4? Frame 4. Or was this frame 4? This is frame 5. I don't know. I don't know what frame we're in. It doesn't matter. So I go up, throw another good one. Bang. Finally, I'm like, okay, that's what I was expecting. That's what I was looking for. Ball just rolls off of it, reads the middle of the lane, rolls off of it. Looks good. That's good, right? Let's see what happens on the left lane, which is tighter. Sean went up and whiffed the head pin. And twice. Not a spare I want to shoot at. Because the lanes are fairly flat. For once, they've kindly made them a little bit tough, which was nice. It was really nice to see the lanes a little bit more difficult. So at the end of the day, it really only took 65 over for 7 games. I ended up 21 over. And it was really frustrating those last 5 games, honestly. You'll see why. Felt like I bowled pretty dang good this day. So everything right there, like nothing but bad thoughts going through my head the whole time. I'm like, this is going to be awful if you throw this. You need to stop. And so I stopped myself. More or less, I was saying, the lane's tighter. Don't let yourself just jam it left, but don't miss right. Like, it was just an awful, bad mindset. You're telling yourself what not to do instead of what to do. Like, just make a good shot. And I go up and I actually threw one that I thought was pretty good. And it didn't pick up. It just wiggled. It just got to the spot and rolled forward, and it didn't get through it. So that wasn't that bad of a shot. So we're throwing, marginal to pretty good shots leading up to this right now, and we've really got nothing to show for it. Really got nothing to show for it other than we're making some spares. Staying clean. Staying clean through 6. And I got to tell you, this is one of the more frustrating days I had bowling. Thought I missed that for a minute. Super spare shooter wasn't so super. But I am struggling with this thumb. Feeling like the thumb's hanging up on me a little bit. And you'll notice right here. May not look like it. Off my hand, it looks like, that looks like it's off his hand good. And it just dead right. Hangs up, goes right. Super spare shooter comes at it again. Go lay down. We'll get in bed. I'm just kidding. This isn't really super spare shooter. This is actually a pretty bad attempt. Miss everything to the left. Terrible. So now I'm waiting for my ball to come back because I'm like, all right, I'm not doing this again. Like, I am getting rid of this thumb. I'm switching thumbs, and I drilled a new thumb last week. I don't even know why I decided to stay with that, to use that thumb to start. I don't know. So I just went to somebody's calling me. I don't know who it is. So I went to the new thumb, and I don't like, and it takes me a few frames to get back used to it again, but it doesn't come off my hand poorly. We'll say that it actually comes off my hand much quicker here, but you'll notice it shoots through the front part of the lane and then just tickles that 5 out. Too fast ball speed wise. Ball speed was just way too fast. Couldn't get it to didn't quite get it slow enough to get it to pick up. So I don't remember what I do here in the 9th. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. We try to slow down to make it read properly. And it's awful. It's just awful. Just dead jammed. Dead jammed, another 4-pin. It's crazy. I mean, I really thought it was like that lane just hooked so much more. It felt like that lane hooked more. But I was afraid to throw it to the right because I already washed out on that lane. So it's like, ugh, what do I do? So we leave 3 4-pins on that line this game. Made them all. Now we're getting up on the left lane for the 10th frame. And throw one good. Or was that the 9th frame? No, that was 10th frame. Throw one great. Get it in there, nice and deep like. I love that. Nice and deep like. So we got a chance at 193 here. Not a very good start. One open. All right, let's just try to get a double up there so we can take a look. Look at a different ball. My first thought is, okay, I'm watching Sean go around the lane with quicker stuff. He's got some strikes up there. Doesn't look awful. Maybe I can get to my eternity. And that one was like, what in the world was that? How did that never pick up? So I'm having trouble getting the ball to read early enough. So I'm like, okay, well, if I have to jam it, then I'm going to go to a slow ball that's just as slow as this one, but it's got the lane shine on it. So then I can just kind of jam it and maybe it'll stay in that zone. So I grab the harsh reality and come throw it on the fill. I don't even shoot at the spare. I just come throw this harsh reality and try to see what kind of shape it's going to give me. So Sean's got a 4-bagger with that Venom Shock. lower diff ball, a little bit slower ball. And he used it pretty much the whole day. He used the pink hypervenom a little bit on certain spots later in the day. So you can see that, and I looked at that, and I'm like, you see how that one shaped it? I'm like, oh, that actually looked pretty good. So maybe now that'll be a little bit quicker because of the shine, and it'll give me a little room to the right. So I decided, okay, so for the rest of the block, or at least for the next game, I'm going to start with that. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned, folks. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe. It's the end of game 1. I bowled 180. So not far behind the pace because the scores weren't very high. But let's just focus in and see what we can come up with game 2. So I'll see you guys here in a little bit for game 2.